Hey, Michael Harris here. I really want to thank you for purchasing this product, and it really means a lot to me, and I really think it's going to help you out. I'm really excited about this product. Today we're going to talk about finding a hot market, okay? And that's really key. Whenever you're trying to sell products on the internet, whether it be information products, your own ebooks, or even affiliate products, you're trying to market as an affiliate marketer to different niches. You really need to uncover a really hot niche that you can figure out how to market to. And so that's what I'm going to show you today. All right, so we're going to go basically through some steps that I take to find a hot niche market, and we're going to see how you can do it as well. And so before we get into this, what we need to do is just kind of give you an overview of what this is about. So let me just give you a brief overview of what's going on here today. What we're going to be talking about, again, is finding a hot niche market. But some people may ask, well, why do I need to worry about this? Can I just pick something to sell and go sell it? Why should I have to worry about picking a hot niche market necessarily? There's several reasons for this. The first reason is because basically if you can pick a hot niche market, it gives you more control of your financial destiny. And what I mean by that is, obviously, if you pick a market that is a really good one, a really profitable one, you could become an authority in that market, and you could definitely help people out in that market and also make quite a bit of money in that market over not just now, but many years to come, especially if you establish yourself as a trusted figure, as a trusted authority in that market. So this is one reason that you really want to pick a hot niche market that you have some skills and some interest in, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But a reason that you can go in there and just dominate that market and actually be, like I mentioned, helpful to people, but you're also making money as well. And so the flip side of that coin is, conversely, if you happen to pick the wrong niche market and a market that just isn't very profitable, then not only are you making things harder on yourself than they need to be, but you're also making, well, I guess the best way to put it is you're also not helping as many people, as you could be. And when you don't help as many people, you don't get paid as much money. It's just that simple. The more people you help, the more you'll get paid, and that's how this works. That's how internet marketing works. And also by learning to find the right niche market, a hot niche market, you will be able to, have an influence on others that is a very positive influence. Okay, so if you're not one of these people out here that just simply trying to make money off people, you really do want to help them, and you're picking a niche that is not only profitable, but it can also be a niche where you can help a lot of people. Then that's the best of both worlds. Okay, that's what you want. Conversely, on the negative side, if you don't pick the right niche, then you can definitely, again, just not help as many people, not make as much money. You won't have a positive influence on people like you could have if you would have picked the right niche to begin with. So it all goes back to picking the right niche. Niche selection is extremely important to your future. Okay, so this is a very important topic that we're talking about today. Also, by picking the right niche, you'll feel really a great sense of accomplishment. Again, you're helping people, you're making money, and you're also feeling pretty accomplished in the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, you're just doing a lot of good in the world. And so, since you're a positive influence on people, you'll feel very accomplished. Whereas conversely, on the flip side, you don't pick the right niche, you're just not going to feel as good about it. You're not going to help as many people, and you're just simply not going to make as much money. And so there's a lot of factors here that go into picking a niche. So let's go over those right now. So you may ask, what is the goal of picking the right niche? I mean, what's the goal of this training? And the goal of this training right here today is basically to give you several strategies where you can pick the right niche. So basically I'm going to show you some strategies to pick the right niche. I'm going to show you some websites to go to so that you can pick the right niche. And then in the end, you will know by the time you leave this training, you will know exactly some steps to take that you can do to pick the right niche and to find something that's profitable for you, and that also not only is profitable, but goes with your talents as well. It goes with your abilities, because you want to pick something you're interested in, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to pop out of the picture here so you can see the screen a little bit better. And the first thing I want to talk to you about is when we're trying to pick a niche, the best kind of niche is in the information marketing niche, of course. Information marketing is very very good, simply because you don't have any hard costs with information marketing. If you're talking about digital products, you can create them with virtually no cost or very little cost at all. If you're creating an ebook or short reports, items like that. Or on the flip side, if you're selling those items as an affiliate, you're an affiliate marketer and you're selling someone else's stuff, then again, you want to pick these kind of niches, okay? Because these are the best kind of niches to have. So the two best kind of niches that you can go for are what we call desperation niches and hobby niches. All right, so let's explain that a minute. So desperation niches, let's talk about that one first, are niches where it sounds like it says people are desperate. They're hurting. They're needing a solution to something. They're niches where people are laying awake at night in their bed looking at the ceiling because they simply cannot figure out a solution to the problem, and they're trying to desperately find a solution to the problem. Well, that's where you can come in. That's where you can help people. If you're an affiliate marketer and you have a solution to that problem, there you go. You can help them out. If you are creating ebooks and you're an information marketer or product creator, if there's a niche that you have a product that solves their problem, there you go. Yeah, you can help them out. And so desperate people sometimes do desperate things. And they're not necessarily always the most rational in the world. And a lot of times they'll make impulsive decisions. Now, again, what you want to do, and my approach has always been, you do want to help people out, okay? So you're not necessarily trying to take advantage of desperate people. You're simply trying to provide them with the information they need to solve their problem, okay? And that's where you come in. So desperation niches are great niches to give people solutions and sell them solutions to their problems that will really help them out, and in turn make money as well. Okay, now let's talk about number 2, which is hobby niches. Okay, so let's talk about what in the world is a hobby niche. Hobby niches are niches where people spend sometimes large amounts of money on a hobby that definitely brings them some kind of satisfaction, and they share this with a group of people. Okay, so there's all kinds of hobby niches out there, and you could probably think of some right now yourself. But obviously, people that collect things would be great hobby niches. People that are into certain things, let's say they're into a certain movie, that could be a hobby niche, for example. And so, if you collect things, make things, for example, hot rods, that would be a hobby niche. If you're into maybe, certain sports, for example, let's say you're into certain sports and you like following that team around and you buy all of that team's jerseys and so on, then that's a hobby niche, okay? And there's a big fan base for that team. So hobby niches are where people spend their disposable income, and they're usually with like-minded people who like the same thing they do, and therefore you definitely can market to them as well, okay? So as an affiliate marketer or as a product creator, hobby niches are great. Where people have disposable income to spend and they'll buy what you have. So let's talk about rules for entering a desperation niche. Okay, if you are looking to enter a desperation niche, the first thing is people must want a solution to their pain. Okay, it's just that simple. And they need it, they want it, they need it, and it needs to happen now. They really want a solution immediately. and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get that solution. Okay, number two, people must be willing to spend money. Very, very important. You can have people desperate for a solution, but they're broke. Well, unfortunately, they're not going to buy your ebook, or they're not going to buy whatever affiliate program that you're promoting. Okay, you want to have people that are desperate for a solution and they have money to spend on the solution. Number three, it needs to be an online spot. There needs to be an online spot to hang out. Okay, you want a place where people congregate together and they talk about their problems. Okay, so whether that be Facebook, whether that be Twitter, any of the social media sites, whether it be forums, forums are good places to go. Just wherever it might be, Yahoo Answers, people ask questions and that kind of thing. Wherever people hang out is a good indication of a desperation niche. And the reason you want to find a place where they hang out is because you're going to meet them there. Okay, that's where you're going to meet them with your solution. All right, so wherever they hang out is a third very, very important rule that you need to figure out in the desperation niche. When you're trying to figure out the desperation niche phase, where should you place your efforts? So they, real simple. They must want a solution to their pain. They must be willing to spend money, and they need to be online somewhere, hanging out, talking about their problem. Okay, so next let's talk about hobby niches. What are some rules for entering hobby niches? Well, what you're looking for in a hobby niche is people must have disposable cash. People must be willing to spend their cash on that niche, and there needs to be an online spot where they hang out. All right, so you can see number 3 is definitely on both of them, and so is the ability to spend cash as well. Obviously, if you're selling things to people, then they need to have money to buy it with, and so hobby niches are great for that. Okay, because people love their hobbies and they love to gather together with other people who like their hobbies as well. And so let's go ahead and break this down a little bit further. Let's talk about desperation niches. Okay, so what are some types of niches? Because you may be saying, what are you talking about? What do you mean desperation niches? Give me some examples. Well, here's some right here. So for example, most desperation niches pretty much revolve around 3 main ideas. They're health, money, and relationships. All right, these are the things that definitely keep people up, keep people worried, and they need a solution to their problem, and they need it soon. Okay, so health examples would be weight loss. Okay, all kinds of, as you know, all kinds of programs out there on weight loss. Okay, there's all kinds of affiliate marketing programs on weight loss. There's ebooks on weight loss that you could actually write. If you have tips or you have a plan on how you've lost weight, you could definitely write an ebook on that and sell it to the marketplace. Sell it to those individuals that need the help. So also, I'm sure there's CPA offers on weight loss, for example. Okay, so there's just all kinds of examples on weight loss out there. That's a desperation niche. People want to lose weight and they want to lose it now. Organic healthy eating, absolutely. Any kind of organic healthy eating is a great niche to get into. If you're into, let's say, eating the raw foods, or you want to eat the organic foods, not the non-processed type foods, then that's an awesome niche to get into. A lot of people are wanting to do that. They're desperate for better health. They don't want to eat the stuff that's going to hurt them, and so that's an awesome niche to get into. Building muscle. Again, anything that keeps people healthier, where they can add to their health, or anything they can avoid to take away from their health, would be a desperation health type of niche. Okay, money. Any products out there about making money? How can you make more money? Those do very well. Okay, people that need money and they need it now, or people that just simply want to make more of it so they can provide more for their family or provide more for themselves, or whoever. Making more money is something that's very popular that a lot of people want to do. Investing is another kind of niche, and debt. If people are in a lot of debt, they're desperate for solutions. That is a desperation niche. I guarantee you, debt keeps a lot of people up at night looking at the ceiling, and they're wanting to solve it and figure out how to get out of it. All right. 3, relationships. Relationship niches are great to get into. Love, dating, better marriage, family, how to raise your kids better, how to have better relationships with those around you. Just how to basically be a better person and how to influence others more, how to persuade others, how to help others. Those are relationship niches, and those are great niches to get into because people definitely want to build better relationships and they want to get more out of life through better relationships. All right. So that's a desperation niche, something that definitely keeps people awake at night, wondering about it several times a day. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch gears here. Now let's talk about hobby niches. What are some examples of hobby niches out there? Remember, these are niches that people have disposable income. They like spending money on their hobbies. They like gathering with other people who agree with their hobbies and like their hobbies and are as passionate about their hobbies as they are. And so some hobby niches would be any kind of musical instrument, that especially a popular musical instrument that people love to play. So play the piano, play the guitar, for example. Anything that people just really want to play, or they can kind of wow others with it, would be a great hobby niche. Okay, if they're really into music, again, music itself is a great hobby niche. Okay, because a lot of people are into different kinds of music, and if you have something that appeals to them, then that's more, the more the merrier. This is the way they look at it. Okay, so number 2, play a sport better. Any kind of niches that deal with sports is a great hobby niche. People are really into their teams. They're they're into their following teams as a fan, but also as a player. Anything as a player that can help you improve your speed, improve your agility, improve how high you can jump. There are products out there on this that you can sell to these people in these niches. Okay. Just like the musical instrument niche, how to play guitar better. There's definitely products on that. There's affiliate products, or if you're an expert at creating those kind of products, you can create those products yourself. So either one, very, very popular niches. Video games. Video games are just crazy popular right now. They have been popular, and I think they always will be popular. People really take their gaming seriously, and video games is a very, very important, popular hobby niche. Cars, all kinds of car niches out there, from hot rods to trucks to just you name it. I can't even name all the car niches, but there's so many of them out there. Very, 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 very popular niche. Anything to do with technology is a very popular niche. People that use a certain kind of technology. Do you use Apple products or Android products? People get really passionate about this kind of stuff, which is better. Those are very popular hobby niches. A couple that aren't on here would be camping. Camping is another one. Anything to do with tents, camping out, outdoor wilderness, survival skills, that kind of thing would be an excellent hobby niche. Okay, definitely want to. There's just definitely all kinds of products to sell to people in those niches. And just a couple of more bonus ones here. Pets and animals. Any people that are certain kinds of dog lovers or cat lovers definitely are very passionate about that. And really anything to do with home improvement. Home improvement, any kind of improvements, additions they can make to their house, their outdoors, outside of their house, their patio, their backyard, their front yard, landscaping, inside, outside of their house, definitely is a hobby niche, home improvement. And one thing to notice is how all of these niches that we're talking about meet our rules, so to speak, on how they are popular niches. Okay, either the desperation niches or the hobby niches. And so I might just kind of go back here for a minute. For example, in the desperation niches, people are definitely being kept awake at night by these niches. They're definitely willing to spend money to solve these problems, and they're definitely they have an online hangout, that they can go to and talk about these problems, to try to get them solved. And so definitely that meets our criteria for the desperation niches. And just quickly looking at our hobby niches, for example, people obviously are very passionate about their hobby. They have money to spend, disposable income to spend on their hobby, and they do spend it on their hobby. And not only that, but they like to gather together with others online, and they talk about their hobby. Okay, and it's important that they're gathering online, especially if you're going to be an online marketer and sell them online information. That's critical. And so, yeah, all of these meet that criteria. So let's go ahead and move on. And so I'm going to ask you to go ahead and stay tuned for our next video, where we're going to show you how to find some of these niches online through some simple research.